That's great. That's great. Well, just in that down, like going to those big, events like the Olympics, like the Commonwealth Games. How did you feel about that? How did you see that? Dion?
Well, yeah, probably like you, Tiff. I saw it was the '84 Olympics for me as well, where you kind of got this cue, and I think you always have this vision of what it is. But I think as you worked your way through your career, it was what was normal for you. So in terms of playing and training, and the people you hung out with, like like Kathy, when you train, Tiff, they're just they're your mates, and you train, and so you end up arriving at this place, and your aims and your goals are similar in how you might get there. So each of them have got really unique differences. So the Olympics and the Commonwealth Games and then World Cups, of course, all have a slightly different flavour and feeling, and they're all different around the team dynamics and also your own personal development. So going to a tournament at 23 is completely different to going to a tournament at 33. And so you end up, while you've got this thing called experience, you kind of end up, everything's relatively fresh and new as you go there. But certainly, I remember at Athens, we sort of walked in and, you get Roger Federer kind of sitting there at the table, having a drink, and you can sit next to him. Or, we had a rugby guy at one of the early Olympics, Commonwealth Games in KL, John Olomu, who was there. He was just a phenomenon at that time. He was just there. So, one thing that they worked really hard on with the New Zealand team, I'm sure they do it with the Australian team, is create this, this one team. How do you create all these different codes and people coming in and being one? So they worked really hard on that. So it meant that you could come in and you could sit down next to these guys or have a chat with these guys, which was kind of surreal. And the basketballer guys, they were always kind of staying out, but they always the messages we got was they actually really, really missed the village and the whole thing about being part of the event, because it's not just about the event, it's about all this other stuff which goes on too.
It's interesting when it's funny when you see somebody on television and then you actually meet them. You're a character.
Oh, Jonah, he's big.
Well, you're
he's
a real person.
Boy, yeah.
Jonah, yes, definitely.